All right, well, Benji, Brady, hey guys, welcome back in. Hey, we've had a little bit of a break. Hopefully our people haven't left us, but look, the two of y'all have been so busy. We've had storms in Kentucky that your teams have been helping with. We've just had life going on, end of the year. It's been crazy for everybody, but we are here and officially starting season 3. So I don't know. We're doing like 15 episodes a season. We'll see.
Well, who knows? I mean, we had 10 and 15 adds up to 25. This may be a 25. I'm only kidding. This won't be a 25. But season 3 it's going to be fun.
Technically, we're in episode 26. We're 26 episodes. We were joking a little bit before as well. We were like, you know what? Brady has to be 100% the reason that we're here, because his abundancy over scarcity episode is over 1,000 downloads. So, Brady,
that's awesome.
You bring in the heat, man.
Bring it. Bring it.
And whatever it takes. I want to say, we have taken a little break, and we just appreciate you guys very much. I mean, we still have people downloading. Adam, we surpassed the 7,500 downloads.
We did.
Big. I see people on, the different podcast feeds and all, and they're like, hey, I got 10 episodes and I got this. And we're like, man, we finally hit the 7,500. What a mountain to climb, but we're there, and we can't do it without you. Lots of people sharing and on social and, sharing the feed of podcast or whatever. So again, remember, if you're tuning in for the first time, you can download any platform you got. You can always go to higheruppodcast.com.
Look, next achievement is 10,000.
We'll get there.
That's big.
We'll get there with our listeners' help.
We got it. We got it.
And we're set. Last I checked, we're about 50 over 7,500. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So
awesome. Maybe the 10,000th download gets a higher up branded coffee mug.
I'm still waiting on mine.
I got it. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Well, actually, speaking of, guys, so I'm glad you mentioned that. We do have a little merch shop up on the website. So
all right,
there's still some. We still got to get some more stuff up there, but you can order a coffee mug if you want. We're not. By the way,
can I go purchase something right now while we're doing the episode?
You can. Higheruppodcast.com. You can do it right now. Click the merch shop and do it. It'll send it wherever you want.
This hoodie.
I do want to let you guys know that the proceeds, we don't have much in there for that. So just so you know, if there is any, we're going to be donating it to charity anyway. So whatever that is, feel free to order. You can order a hoodie, you can order a shirt, whatever. But man, I tell you, Adam, this is going to be a really fun episode starting out the new season. I'm really excited about this.
Well, this one is really, we were joking as well that this is kind of your episode. This is your topic. This is actually big for you because I know you are a Masters lover. You love everything Masters. I know Masters weekend, as long as I've known you. You guys even, you order the food kit that comes in so y'all can feel what it, have Masters at home, which is, by the way, marketing totally aside from that, is phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
To me, it's such a phenomenal.
It's the way to do it.
But it's a really big deal for you guys. Y'all love it. Your whole family loves it. I see your family post about it for you guys. Obviously Sarah's a photographer. Love all the stuff that the Masters put out when it comes on. It's beautiful stuff. But one of the biggest things, and what was really cool is I noticed it a lot this year on social media. I don't know if you caught it as well. They talked a lot about the customer service and what it's like. And I even saw ESPN post some things because when Rory won it, nobody's taking a picture in the background, which in today's age,
unheard of.
And that was one of the things. It was cool. I remember seeing, and this is just one of the things with customer service, but they don't allow phones. Mm-hmm. And it was really neat to see people just in the moment. Right,
yeah,
we're in the age where we want to capture the moment. Let somebody's job capture.
Be in the moment.
Yeah,
be in the moment. Ken Griffey Jr., by the way, killed it.
Oh,
as a photographer. Killed it. But just things like that. So that was something that was neat this year that I feel like was a theme on social media, was the customer service. And I feel like for our team, Team Wilson Customer Service, our customer journey has something that we've been focusing on this year. And so I think this will be a great thing for you to kind of dive into and share a little bit with Brady and I. What kind of happens at the Masters customer service?
Yeah, and obviously we're gonna turn this into part of your business, whatever you may be and what field you're in towards the end. But the Masters has, as Adam said, it's been huge for me for years. Brady watches it every year. My family has all bought into it every year. which I don't know how we got our kids into it, but they're into it. But so we got, just so you guys know, you can go to themasters.com and anyone can enter your email address for lottery tickets. It's free to enter, doesn't cost anything. I started doing this in 1999 every year. So right after the Masters finishes, which is most of the time it's in April. Okay, sometimes it ends in March, just depending on when they do it. And there was the one year they did it in November due to COVID. They had to push it forward. But see, I know too much about the Masters. But the Masters, so the cool thing about the Masters is, again, 1999, entered the lottery pick. I tried to get tickets to the Masters for 20 years. And finally in 2018, I was about to give up doing it because I thought it was a hoax. And I actually entered again. And when you go to enter, it'll say you can enter for 2 tickets for the practice rounds, or excuse me, 4 tickets for the practice rounds and 2 tickets for every day of the tournament. Now, you're not going to get all those tickets. It's essentially a lottery. Only so many people get in. So I actually got 2 tickets. Most people say the first time you ever get in, you get a 4-ticket option to a practice round. You don't get a tournament day round. I got 2 tickets to the Saturday round for 2019, and it happened to be the year that Tiger Woods won the Masters this last time. Now, I was a part of when Tiger had the 2005 on TV shot on 16. Impossible shot. Most people don't understand about the Masters when you go. There's not a blade of grass out of place. We actually sat on hole 13. We actually walked every hole until we got to 13. We sat there, waited for Tiger to come through, and then we followed him in. The place is amazing. The food is amazing, but most importantly, the customer service is amazing. This place, you cannot fathom the shots. The reason they call it the Masters, these professionals that are playing this game cannot even see the flag that they're hitting at most of the time. Most of the shots are blind shots. They are hitting at a target somewhere in the sky or a tree or a limb or whatever. It's unbelievably amazing. But the cool thing about the Masters is the customer service, okay? So I'll give you a couple things. When you go to buy food at the Masters, a pimento cheese sandwich is $1.50. A barbecue sandwich is $2. A drink is $1. It is the most reasonable rates of anything you can get, and this food is really, really good. Now, I will say that they got egg salad, which Sarah loves the egg salad. I like the pork. The pimento cheese is fantastic. I'm not so sure that the egg salad is not made by someone in Birmingham because it tastes the same as some of the restaurants we go to. And who knows? Maybe they just white label it, put the Masters on it. But the cool thing about that is the way they get you in through the lines so fast. And even the restrooms, when the men line up to use the restrooms, the line is so long, but you are in and out. As soon as you're done using the restroom, guys, they have someone come clean it like quickly.
Oh, Lord.
And then they're waving the next person in. It's that fast of service. When you go to the pro shop, they sell, I was told, I don't know if this is true, on a website or something, they sell like $1 million every 10 minutes or something during the Masters. Now, again, I don't know if that's true, but they only let 50 people in at a time. But those 50 people, when they let 50 people through, the 5-minute clock hits, 50 more people are through. When you buy your stuff, you can take it next door. They will hold your items because, again, you can't have phones. You can't, like if you walk up to the gate with a phone, they're banning you for life. You can't even get in anymore. So you drop
Where do they put everything? Do you have to leave it in your car?
No, they have a locker.
Probably like a locker.
It's a locker room. They give you a ticket, a voucher, and then when you come back, when I say you give them your voucher and they have your stuff there within less than a minute, it is that fast of service.
But you keep your wallet and everything, obviously.
Yeah,
You're just talking about,
yeah.
So Benji, are you telling me that the line to the men's restroom is like the Chick-fil-A drive-thru?
I promise you, I'm not exaggerating you. I promise you guys, it is. It's exactly like that. Like they are waving you through fast. And as fast as you can finish the restroom, I hate to say it this way, whether you're standing guys or sitting guys, it doesn't matter. I didn't go to the women's restroom, but I can only imagine it's the same type of service over there.
Glad you did not.
But yes. I will promise you, it is that fast. As soon as you're done, that restroom is clean. it is clean for you to use it. So
Right.
really, really neat. So, getting into the, honestly, it's just so simple too, Adam. You mentioned it with social media. It's just so simple the way they have the setup done. The concessions are affordable. They focus on value and experience. The branding, as you mentioned, is first class. Everyone knows the music to the Masters. It's that same theme every year. Everyone knows. And, it's not just about the golf tournament. It is for the people that are playing, and they call them patrons. By the way, I learned this about golf at the Masters. They don't call it the back nine. So most people call it the front nine that you
Front nine, the back nine.
In the back nine. They call it the second nine. And they will actually penalize you if you're a broadcaster or whatever, if you call it the back nine. It's called the second nine. Everything has a rhyme or a reason to the Masters. So what is their secret? Honestly, it's just their attention to customer feelings. It's all about the customer experience. To your point, for those 4 days, and I'll even give you the practice rounds. For those 4 days, if you're at the tournament, there is no phone. Life is simple. You can hear the birds chirping. You can feel the wind blowing. You can see the people next to you. There's no talking. It's all about watching the literal masters play this game that is just, it's earth shattering, to be honest with you.
I mean, if you really think about it though, it's a really cool picture because, kind of going back to our last episode talking about people first. I mean, the Masters seems like they do it better than anybody, something to look up to in a world that we're on our phones, we're on our computers, we've got TV, we've got YouTube, we've got podcast. Even though you should be listening to this podcast, but. We're just so we live in a society that's so distracted, and even my wife and I were talking about it the other day. It's when you get in front of people and you just turn off all the distractions, and you get to know who people are and really interacting with them. It sounds like the Masters does that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Is take out all the distractions, take out all the noise. And you get back to nature, you get back to simplicity, you get back to, what really matters. And at the end of the day, what really matters is people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great point. I mean, it is about the people. And, you could, Brady, you could probably tie most of our core values, as you mentioned, the last two, to what the Masters does. Their experience, I'm speechless because I've been there, and it's just amazing. So here's a couple things. What can we apply? Okay, how can we apply the Masters to what we do in our everyday business, everyday life? All right.
Mm-hmm.
So Augusta plans from the time that you pull up to park to the time that by the way, you're actually parking on fairway. Most of their parking lots are not actual paved parking lots. You're parking in a field. They take this grass, this turf, and it looks like turf. That's where you park, okay? And so from the time you park to the time you come back to your car, it's about the journey from the time you go in the gate, the way things look, the way things feel, the way things smell, the way things appear to you. It's about the customer experience. So in your business, if the Masters has gone to this length, how can we map our customer journey to be something similar? Now, again, every business is different, but their first touch point is, how can I help you? What's your experience like when you're here today? What can I do to make it the best experience it possibly can be? You sense that in all the people Brady just mentioned. All the people make it happen. I mean, I can't tell you how many hundreds of people are probably there that are either probably volunteering, to be honest with you. Yeah. And then what are some of the needs and friction points that we can avoid? All right. And again, we talked about the restroom thing. How many times you go into a public restroom and you're like, oh man, I don't even want to use the bathroom. You don't feel like that at the Masters. Everything they've thought out, and it's well documented. I'm sure they have SOPs we couldn't even imagine, or honestly, maybe simple SOPs for that matter.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, and to that point, I mean, think about if you're on the road, and let's take just the restroom thing, okay? I mean, this may be going overboard, but when I'm on a long trip and we've got to go,
Yeah, for sure.
then I'm looking for one of two places. I'm either looking for Marathon, okay, because I know they got clean restrooms, and the creme de la creme, which is there's not as many of them, but I'm looking for Buc-ee's.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because the experience, typically what you're going to get. I'm probably not going to the Shell station. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's the type of thing that they take pride in, and I know you've been to a couple different tournaments, but the golf tournaments, but the Masters really stands out because of the experience that you had, and you talk about it, and people hear about it, and it makes them want to, get on the lottery. It makes them want to go to the tournament. It makes them want to go to experience what it's like, so they can have the same experience that you did.
Yeah, how do you, to your point, how do you make the ordinary feel extraordinary? When you go through that line, you're not just going through the line, a concession stand line, feel like an honor. It's not a transaction. They're not worried about that, hey, this is going to cost you, boom, 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 boom. They're trying to make you feel like it's an honor to have been there. Yeah. And buy the food. And it's not a steak dinner, guys. It's a barbecue sandwich. It's an egg salad, pimento cheese sandwich. It's simple. How do we take our basic services, okay? And any business probably has this: scheduling, invoicing, follow-up. How do you add a little bit of flavor to that to not just make it about scheduling a job, invoicing a project, following up? How do you give it that extra customer service touch? I know some people probably use handwritten notes, some warm greetings, unexpected kindness. Maybe it's a video, from someone just thanking them for work. Whatever that is, make it extraordinary. I think Adam, we were talking about on one episode a while back about, I think it was Nick Saban. He takes ordinary things and makes them extraordinary, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever those basic things are. So it's really, really cool.
So tell me this, as you're talking more for our listeners, what do you guys feel like is something that maybe recently, especially with the core values and really pushing those, as we've talked about that in the last season, what is something that you two feel like is a process or a customer service that y'all have been working on with the team recently that gives that master's touch? Is there anything right now that you guys are doing from the start, whether it's beginning or the end of the job? What's something that y'all are doing that you feel like gives that touch for customers?
Well, I'll let Brady talk about that, because again, he's mentioned coffee with the CEO in the last episode or two, some of the things we're doing, and we're going to talk about this in lesson 3 in a minute, but he can talk about one of the things we're doing.
I mean, I think for us lately is I can't necessarily point to a specific thing, but I will say consistently, even with our core values and how we're how we are reminding our teams of that on a constant basis. I know that because you can talk about things one time, like, hey, we need to be better at customer service. We need to be better at this, and then it just kind of goes to the wayside, and it's something that's got to be constantly shared. I think we've talked about this, but for you leaders out there, you may be a part of a C-suite. You may be a CEO. You may be a CFO. You may be a CTO, whatever those C-suite letters are. But I will tell you that you're also a CRO, okay? And a CRO, you may have never heard of it, but you are the chief reminding officer. Mm-hmm. And so a chief reminding officer is constantly reminding people of what those important things are in your organization. I'll give you I wish I'd have had my camera yesterday, and so I'm sitting in my office. My office is at the front of our building. It's got windows in front. But we had a customer that came, and I think they were picking up a packet for their pack out or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. But the customer walks outside and goes to get in her car, and then one of our employees was coming into the building, and her name is Misty, and she's one of our production technicians. And you should have, I don't know what was said, but you should have seen the embrace that happened. The customer and Misty like locked each other and went and just gave each other this huge hug. And so it's hard to hear through the window.
Yeah.
But they're giving each other this huge hug. It's like, oh, I'm so glad to see you. I'm just here picking up something. That's not something that you can teach.
Right.
That's something that you're embodying with, with what you are communicating as a leader. I mean, and I do have a picture of this next one, but 2 days ago, I'm walking around the office a little bit, and I saw one of our team members that was taking out the trash. Now it's a simple thing, right? And I said, hey, just having a conversation. And I said, hey, I'm just curious about something. And this is one of our managers. And I said, hey, I'm just curious about something. Did somebody like ask you to do this, or did you just do it on your own? He goes, no, I just saw that it needed to be done, and so I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, you just knocked out like 3 core values right there. And so that's what you're talking about at the Masters is once you whatever their core values are, is they are sharing these items or these things with their employees, their team members, and it just starts to become an ingrained thing that you don't have to tell them to do something. They're just going to do it because it's natural. It's the little things. Going back to Nick Saban, he says a lot of times it's the little things are the easiest things that people don't do well. So if you can take the little things and really do the little things well, then those really become the ordinary things that become extraordinary.
Yeah, that's great. And you mentioned our team, Brady. Lesson number 3: empower every team member. And we talked about this with volunteers at Augusta, but they just don't volunteer. They own the guest experience. So think about this in your business, whatever business you might be in. How do you own the customer experience, not just the transaction? That was a big thing to hit home for me when we were dialing in the notes for this episode. Train our team to think like hosts, not just workers. What does the process do? And to your point, Adam, if you went to a restaurant, let's say, and you ordered whatever you would normally order, let's just say it's a steak, and you're like, hey, I would like that medium. If it came out medium rare, what are you probably going to do?
I probably would just eat it. I'll be 100% honest with you.
You're a medium rare guy.
I would just feel bad being like, hey, I don't like that. I've even joked because my dad's the type of guy that would send something back, and I'm a pleaser. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, if it came out too much, I don't know if I would send it back. Just because, again, I understand things happen, I guess, but that's just me. But it's funny. I totally killed your point. But
no, it's great though, because some people.
Adam, are you scared that somebody's going to spit on your steak? Is that it?
I will not confirm nor deny, but that does cross my mind from time to time.
No, the thing is, it's a great point though. Some people are just like that. Some people just want to, hey, I know it's not a problem. I'll just deal with it, and that's okay. There are some people that are like, look, if I go to this restaurant, because again, I'm a consistency guy. I go to these same places a lot of times. If the consistency becomes inconsistent, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, what is this? But
something's off.
Yeah, at the Masters, they own the experience. And how can we help make sure if one thing goes wrong in our business, one process gets messed up, then the process, we try to correct it, obviously, everyone would, but sometimes we get off track and we just, that just happened. No, we need to fix the problem. But if we can continue to train and empower our team members, Brady, what core value is that?
To empower our team members?
Yeah.
Well, we got several of them.
Yeah, I mean, people first.
People first. Yeah, relentless execution, pursue excellence.
Pursue excellence. That's what I was getting. Pursue excellence. Own it and pursue it. And give them permission to solve the problems, but serve generously. Empower them, right? Lesson number 4. We got 2 more. We'll be finished. But consistency builds trust. Mm-hmm. Consistency. Everything's at the Masters. Everything feels the same. It's pristine. It's polished. Let's be honest. The bathrooms are polished. Okay, pristine, polished, and perfect. When they cut that grass, there is not a blade, and I'm not exaggerating, a blade of grass out of place. It looks like they're hitting off of turf. Consistency.
Yeah.
Because if you can get a customer to come to the Masters, if me as a customer go to the Masters, guess what I want to do next year? I want to go back. I want to go back. And I'm ultimately going to tell other people, you got to go to the Masters. If you're not even a golf fan, you got to go to the Masters. And build systems that let your customer service shine consistently, no matter the day or who's on that shift.
Yeah.
So consistency, big thing there. And then last but not least, create stories, not just service. This was really neat. People leave the Masters telling stories, not just saying, man, that was good. That was a good golf tournament. They leave telling stories. And if you have customers that are big advocates for you in your business or your church or your whatever, they're going to want to use your service. And that's what creates that customer experience. When you go above and beyond even the smallest details, you give your customers a story to tell other people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and to cap it off with that, I feel like that's something that we've worked really hard over the past few years, especially with reviews, doing that because it gives customers an avenue to share those stories. And then for anyone that's a business owner, like celebrate those stories. Like you don't just, when we get those reviews in that aren't just like, hey, I loved, Bob, Jim, and Jerry, they were awesome. But when you get those reviews that are like, man, we had one a few weeks ago that came in, and it was actually back from I want to say it was around like Valentine's Day or something. And the lady was like, we had this happen. We had this water damage on Valentine's Day. We had something we were doing with my husband, and this happened, and it sidetracked everything. And then we went through this, and we went through the reconstruction side, and she just praised everything. But she shared how it gave them something to experience, and something I've heard our Birmingham operations manager share with his team on meetings when they do Fridays is reminding them that customer service, especially in our industry, is something they may only experience one time. So why not give them that best experience? Best, because I mean, yes, God forbid you hope you don't have more than one water damage or fire or something happening in your home. But I mean, the majority of our customers potentially are a one-time thing, if maybe multiple. But let's make sure that one time is memorable, from the conversations to how they do it. And I got to witness that this past week. I went with one of our monitoring. I got a text, and I went around with him, and just watching him call the customers before, say, hey, I am on my way. My ETA is this. Just want you to know so you'll be ready when I get there. And what was really cool is he's built a rapport with some of them. They were like, hey, I'll be here. Just walk in, do what you got to do if you need me. And sure, I kid you not, like some of them, we got there and I was like, hey man, do you need a knock or anything? And they're like, no, we've built a relationship, and I heard them on the phone, like, hey, come on in when you get here. I'm working. I'll be in my office, but if you need me, you know where my office is, come find me. So it's just neat to see that.
Yeah, that customer rapport
it's a customer rapport, because they met this individual on the first time when this happened. But hearing him have that conversation with the customer, like, hey, come on in, do this. I mean, to me, that's a big deal, to just tell someone that you've really only known for a little bit, that you've built a trust with them. You talked about that, build a trust with your customer, and have him do it. And sure enough, it was just neat to sit and just kind of watch and capture him doing that. And that was just monitoring.
Yeah.
That's not, and I know that's a big part of what we do, but that was just one facet of what happens with someone who goes through a whole process. So it's neat and awesome to see that you're doing that from all sides, and you're talking about that. They're buying in. It's something they're doing and giving them that customer experience. And it will go a long way.
Yeah.
It'll go a very long way.
Well, Brady, you got any closing thoughts?
No, you were talking about consistency. We've said this on the show before, but James Clear says that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And in the Serve Pro world, we have lots of different acronyms, but one of our acronyms is SYSTEM, and it just stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. So we can talk about the customer experience, we can talk about the things that we need to do, but you have to marry those, or combine those with good systems, so that the system, it's almost like the good marriage of process and people. You can have good people without good processes. You can have good processes without good people, but when you bring those two things together, then there's some magic that really happens.
Yeah. And so as we close this out, just keep this in mind. If you remember nothing else we talked about, enter the lottery for the Masters. Go to themasters.com.
Just do it.
But so whether you're running a service business, leading a team, or just starting out, you can learn a lot from this Masters experience. Excellence, consistency, and care never go out of style. We just want to thank you guys for tuning in today. As always, you can connect on social media at Higher Up Podcast. You can go to higheruppodcast.com, find your favorite platform, subscribe there. You can also order some merch if you'd like. But don't forget, leave us a review. Adam likes that. Leave us a review. Send us a text. We'd love to give some episode in the future. So, as always, guys, go out there and choose to live a higher up life. See you next time.